Hey, honey,
Yes, Barry?
let's get out of here.
Where are we going?
Where do we always go?
Fascina el viento, este ritmo de palmas, sin ti naturaleza, hasta encontrar la playa. Por eso grito al mundo, yo soy de Puerto Vallarta. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. Samba de Puerto Vallarta.
Hello, fellow travelers. Welcome to this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. I'm your host, Barry Kessler. I'm just so happy to be introducing you to my favorite vacation destination. Hey, maybe it's even yours, and that's Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. The music you're listening to is performed by Alberto Perez, and Alberto is the owner of the Lapa group of restaurants. Those are the Le Bistro Jazz Cafe Riverside on Isla Calle and the Lapa, Puerto Vallarta's oldest restaurant on the famous Los Muertos beach. And then there's the El Dorado Restaurant Beach Club right next door, so you can enjoy a fantastic view of the Los Muertos Pier, all lit up at night in beautiful colors, or during the day in its grand splendor for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, seated with your toes in the sand right at the water's edge, or riverside at Le Bistro. It's so romantic. It's so Puerto Vallarta, my friends. This week we are visiting one of my new favorite restaurants in Paradise. It's called the Romantic Wok. They serve Thai and Chinese street food, fresh right out of their dueling woks that are stationed right out in front of their sweet, cozy, romantic restaurant. It's on Jacarandes in the romantic zone of Puerto Vallarta. You're going to meet James Sabatini and his business partner, Eddie Aguilar. They're going to fill you in on why it's become one of my favorite restaurants in Paradise. Let's see here. I've got Puerto Vallarta news and more. Let's see what's happening this week in Puerto Vallarta, the 6th of July, 2025. The rainy season has just arrived in Puerto Vallarta, and just in time. June 15th is traditionally the beginning of the rainy season in Vallarta, and this year, the first gully washer was a day early. It came on the 14th, and on the 15th, it rained even more, a lot, as a matter of fact. So, by the way, so far this month, according to my friend Angela, who lives up above Oasis Bar in Emiliano Zapata, right near the Rio Calle, Angela says so far this month, she has recorded about 18 inches of rain. She has a fancy weather station over there. Actually, I just received an inexpensive rain gauge from Amazon MX, so I can do that rain measuring stuff too right here. It's rained almost every afternoon or evening since the 14th of June, but hey, I don't want to dissuade any of you who are thinking about coming down on vacation. I want to be really clear to those of you who are coming down to enjoy the fun and to enjoy the sun, that, you know what, you're going to get just that. The days are sunny and warm here. It's beautiful in the morning, and in the afternoon, it starts to cloud up a little bit. It's very hot. It's very humid right now. And when that rain comes, usually it's late in the afternoon, early evening. Lately, it's been coming around happy hour time, which is pretty handy if you ask me. So it's between 4, 6, or 7 every day, as a matter of fact. And it's just for a short time, and it's really great to have it. It cools down the temperatures a bit, and it's great entertainment. The rain gets heavy sometimes, comes with thunder and lightning and ankle-high water and flooded streets. It really is a unique experience. Actually, it's one of the reasons that curbs are so high in places throughout town. Is to keep that rain from flooding lobbies of condos or rolling into people's houses or their businesses. But the rain is warm; it's not cold, and so the weather's warm too, as I said. And those storms are usually pretty short-lived. Rain eventually slows down and stops, and the streets eventually empty, And, the day or evening, whenever this happens to happen, continues. And what we do is we look for a bar or restaurant during happy hour, like Los Muertos Brewery. We love Los Muertos. They have we think it's one of the best happy hour specials. They have craft beers, which we do like, and it's half price. And you can sip on a beer, you can catch a game, on the big screen until the coast is clear. And actually, there are places in town that you can still catch some live music. So maybe you get caught in one of those places and just stay a little extra while it rains. And that's what we do, and that's what you will do when you come to Puerto Vallarta during the rainy season. But it's warm. It's warm. But when the weather report says, "Hey, you're going to have rain," the truth is, except for in very, very, very severe cases, your vacation's not going to be spoiled by rain. It's only going to be enhanced. Just like I was talking about, walking in the warm rain in your swimsuit or, whatever on the Malecon, it can be a lot of fun, really. And of course, with all that rain, the rivers are flowing. They're all flowing again all around the bay, and they are emptying into the ocean, which creates another slightly unpleasant phenomenon where rivers, most of these rivers have been dry for months now, 8 months now, I think, and now they're flowing, and the water is a dirty brown color from sediment, and it's a yearly thing. It happens all the time. And as the water flows downstream, so does this. Well, it's brown water. It's just brown. And it empties in the bay, and it makes that blue water in the bay look brown. So not the clearest water at many Vallarta beaches right now. But with all that said, we really like Puerto Vallarta this time of year. The air is clean. The brown hillsides that were just 2 weeks ago looking like they could easily ignite and become a bonfire, they are now emerald green and lush, and the jungle is coming back all around town. The dust level is way down after 8 months with no rain. Of course, no fires anymore. Everything is all put out. There were a lot of fires last month. It's hot, but it's not unbearable. It's just you make sure that you plan accordingly. If you've never been here months of like June, July, August, it can get warm. You just gotta, bring a sweat towel or, sweat cloth with you. We carry one all the time. And as a matter of fact, Debbie just bought an umbrella, a parasol, for the sun, right? Parasol. And she tells me it's a game changer. So she highly suggests it. If you want to carry around an umbrella, that will help you a bunch. Of course, you can take Ubers and taxis, to wherever you're going. And the Ubers, when they get there, they're going to have their air conditioner running. That's for sure. When they pick you up. So, and look, most taxis, they'll turn on the air if you ask them to. Sometimes we step into a cab and they've got it running. They get hot too, right? So, don't pick the oldest cab in town. They won't have an air conditioner. Okay. So look for the newer ones, look for the newer cabs. By the way, I'm seeing some Chinese cars now. The Ubers, not the cabs, but I've seen several and taken rides in several Chinese cars, and very, very interesting cars, and nice. They're really nice. We'll see how they hold up. But yeah, I'm seeing some of those. Now, if you're walking and you're getting a little warm, you want to look for the shady side of the street. And if you feel overheated, you want to duck into an OXXO or a kiosco. They're always air conditioned, and they feel great. And you can find one on just about every corner. So don't worry about that. You can just hang on. If you're hot, and we do this, we just kind of pretend to do some shopping. Don't be afraid. Take your time. Loiter if you like. And we can attest to the fact that we've gotten a lot of relief from heat. that way. While you're there, make sure you get enough liquids and perhaps support that air-conditioned oasis by buying a bottle of water there. Dehydration is no bueno, and this is the time of year where that happens. So make sure that you drink enough non-alcoholic beverages like water and sports drinks. Don't overdo it with the alcohol, especially during the day or morning hours. Come on, guys. All right, do whatever you want. All right, I'm not going to be the guy to tell you when to start drinking, but get some of those sports drinks or the drinks that boost your electrolytes. They sell them all over town. Actually, we finally stopped buying our bottled water at Farmacias during our walks. We used to pop into them. They are also air conditioned and they are also on every corner. But problem with them is you can't buy a bottle of water without the sales lady behind the counter pulling out a chart and offering you a rundown of what kind of boner pills she can sell you, steroids and diet aids. I mean, she's got everything there, and she kind of giggles and glances at Debbie. Seriously, I mean, every time this was going on, I mean, it got a little comical after a while. But all right, I'll calm down. I'll get over it. It's okay. Speaking of summer months, the Vallarta Botanical Garden is closed on Mondays during the summer. So if you plan to visit the lovely gardens this summer, keep that in mind. The garden's hours, by the way, are 9 in the morning until 6 in the afternoon. That's Tuesdays through Sundays now. Again, closed Mondays until the beginning of high season. And this is a great time, actually, to visit the gardens because the rain has actually made everything just so happy and green and beautiful and colorful. And the Rio Jocones, which flows right through the property, is flowing quite nicely now. My wife and I love to walk through the gardens. We like to get there in the morning when it's cooler. And then we have lunch at their restaurant. And they have a roaming violinist who plays during lunch. He's there during the off seasons. I talked to Bob just the other day. He said he is there Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays from 12 until 2. So if you do go to the Botanical Garden, you might want to plan accordingly because I think the violinist is the same guy that plays over at La Capella, I think. At any rate, he's really good, and he roams and he plays beautiful, beautiful violin. You've got the gorgeous garden right there, and the food is just so darn good. And it's just a real treat. It's an adventure, right? It's easy to get to from Puerto Vallarta. If you don't know how to get there, it's simple, really. I mean, you can hire a cab, you can hire an Uber, but if you want to go with la gente, want to go with the peeps, you take the bus. And that bus you catch over at the corner of Aguacate and Basilio Badillo. It's actually on Aguacate. They've got, when the bus isn't there, waiting for people, they've got a couple of cones sitting there, blocking that off. And there's always somebody sitting out there. So it's easy to find. I'll put a map in the show notes if you don't know how to get there. But it's on Aguacate at Basilio Badillo, and it leaves every half hour. You pay your pesos, and off you go. And I think it's about 60 pesos. The bus eventually stops up at the Botanical Garden. It's about a 45-minute ride up to the garden, and then the bus keeps on going up the mountain to the town of El Tuito. And now once you've had your fill of the garden, you can catch that same bus at the bus stop. It's actually a bus shelter across the street from the garden. And make sure, again, that you bring pesos with you. It's around 60 pesos to the gardens and, of course, another 60 pesos back. That's about $3 US total. When you go to the gardens, make sure to wear long pants. We always do. Wear some proper walking shoes. And don't forget to bring insect repellent with you. The local off-brand is the most effective for the local mosquitoes in the area. They actually, the ingredients they make specifically for the area. So it's not a bad idea to use the off. It does have DEET in it. So if those people who don't like that, I'm sorry to say, use whatever works for you. But make sure that you do bring something with you. And if you forget to bring it, they actually sell it right there at the park. at the gardens, where you purchase your tickets. It's a little more expensive than if you're going to be buying at the market. So you might want to bring your own, but just in case, they've got it there. Speaking of mosquitoes, by the way, the city of Puerto Vallarta, along with the state of Jalisco, have been getting together and spraying, doing some mosquito control to keep the dengue way down. And this is the time of year when they need to do that because lots of standing water all of a sudden is showing up around town. Now, I'm used to the fogging trucks and the fogging backpacks that are worn by fumigators on foot. I've seen those for years, but in my neighborhood, they're not doing that. They don't have foggers. They've got what looks like a sprayer. It looks like a spray gun. It shoots a stream of liquid into they're shooting it into bushes along the road and stuff like that. And so now the poison seems to be going directly into the possible problem areas instead of just spewing fog into the air. It actually seems a lot less primitive, honestly, and much safer to not have to run to close your windows when the fogger's coming down the street. You can always hear them coming, by the way, and you just have to know what they sound like. So if you've never heard what they sound like a street sweeper coming up your street with a leaf blower on the back. If you hear that sound, go to your windows and close them up, okay? But anyway, yeah, they're fogging and trying to keep the cases of dengue in the state of Jalisco down. That's good news, I guess. I had an opportunity to do a segment on local television right here in Puerto Vallarta. I was invited to the CPS studios in Marina Vallarta to do a segment called Voices of Vallarta, where Brent Lane interviews someone from the community each week on his local news show, CPS News with Jesse and Brent. I actually had Brent on the podcast a couple weeks ago. I answered a few questions and explained the podcast to their viewers. So actually, I embedded the YouTube episode of the show right in the show notes. If you want to see me doing a TV stint, you can see there. You'll see why I say I have a face for radio. So check out Jesse and Brent's weekly English language TV news, produced professionally in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And thank you, Brent and Jesse, for inviting me on your show. Check it out if you've got some time. There is still some live music in Puerto Vallarta. The Gringo Loco has their house band, Paranoia, playing every Saturday night from 6 until 9:30. They play all kinds of music. They've got American rock, German rock, Mexican rock. Very intense. They're a good band. The owner, Larry, has the coldest beer in Puerto Vallarta over there at the Gringo Loco. Let's see who else. We've got Captain Don's. Captain Don's is still doing live music till they take their summer break. Oasis is doing some live music in they've got a small little air-conditioned space. And I think the Cafe Roma is still doing live music, but you got to check their Facebook page and make sure that they're doing that. They've been having some problems with rain of late over at the Cafe Roma. So I hope they can work that out, and they will. I'm pretty sure they will. But if you think of any other live music areas that I've missed, let me know. Send me an email. Here is an interesting idea. Would you like to test drive your marriage in Jalisco? Well, here we go. From the Guadalajara Post, the Mexican state of Jalisco to try trial marriages. Temporary marriage initiative proposed in Jalisco, Mexico, it says. In a groundbreaking move, the Congress of Jalisco, Mexico, is considering a proposal to introduce temporary marriages lasting between 2 and 5 years. This initiative, spearheaded by Enrique Velázquez González, a local legislator from the Hagamos Jalisco party, aims to modernize legal relationships and provide couples with greater flexibility in their commitments. How does this work? Well, under this proposal, couples would enter into a legally recognized civil contract that defines their union for a predetermined period. At the end of the term, they could choose to renew the marriage or let it expire without undergoing a formal divorce process. This system is designed to reduce legal disputes over assets and responsibilities, particularly for couples who might otherwise opt for informal cohabitation. Legal and social implications. The initiative draws inspiration from European models, such as those in France and Germany, where similar contractual relationships are in place. Advocates argue that temporary marriages could significantly reduce divorce rates, alleviating pressures on family courts and streamlining legal processes. Additionally, it acknowledges the evolving perspectives on commitment and relationships, particularly among younger generations. The potential benefits are, it says, simplifies separation by eliminating lengthy divorce proceedings, provides legal protection for couples in temporary unions, reduces judicial workload, potentially cutting divorce-related cases by up to 90%, adapts to modern relationship dynamics, offering flexibility without sacrificing legal rights. While the proposal has sparked debate, it reflects a broader shift in societal attitudes towards marriage and commitment. If approved, Jalisco could become the first Mexican state to implement this innovative legal framework. And I have a link to that article from the Guadalajara Post in the show notes. So, what do you think about that? Would you consider test driving your marriage certificate? Would you do that? I don't know. Maybe. Interesting. I received an email from a new listener to the podcast. Her name is Kendra, and Kendra lives in Boston. And Kendra's the athletic type. She writes, among other things she writes, I'm writing because I'm an athlete and want to hear more about the sports scene in Puerto Vallarta. I am a former Ironman triathlete and now stick to mostly marathons, swimming, and CrossFit to stay active and fit. I've done a little research on groups and clubs in PV, but I thought you'd be able to make it come alive in the way you always do by interviewing some of the club leaders or race directors or someone who might know more about the running, swimming, biking, CrossFit, or triathlon scene in PV. I recently listened to your podcast where you interviewed someone about pickleball in PV and thought that was informative. Not that I play pickleball, but it was cool to hear about something more sports related. If you do reach out to some of the people involved in the sports community, I would love to know if there are clubs that have a mix of locals and expats. When I was in San Cristobal de las Casas in Chiapas, all last summer, I joined a CrossFit gym where I was the only foreigner, and it was super fun. Then she sent me a great, I would call it a directory. She did a bunch of research into like running and swimming and CrossFit clubs and organizations around town to help me find some good interviews, which I will do for sure. And I want to thank you so much, Kendra, for that. But I just want to ask you, my listener, if you know of any great gyms, CrossFit gyms, around town, maybe you know someone who's involved with a local running club or a swimming or cycling club or a group, or even maybe self-defense. I mean, that would be kind of interesting too, wouldn't you think? Anyway, I love the idea, Kendra. You really got me thinking. And listeners, I'd like to hear from you. I know a lot of you people aren't as active as Kendra is, but I'll bet you I got some of you out there. I'm sure I do. So anyway, I'd like to hear from my listeners about this. And because of Kendra, I'm actually putting together a video of the gyms that I've visited in town. I've visited quite a few now. And when that project is done, I'll let you know. And thank you, Kendra. And let's see if I have a few healthy listeners out there. Send me your suggestions. Send them to portovallartatravelshow@gmail.com or pvtravelshow@gmail.com. Either one of those will work. And let's see what we can do to help Kendra find some places to keep fit in paradise. So what do we do to keep busy in paradise? We've had several people ask us what we do to fill our day in Puerto Vallarta. I mean, I've talked about this on my show many years with people who live here, and living in a tourist town can be a deadly proposition for someone who's got too much time on their hands, right? So what do you do? What do we do? One of the things that we do is we take dance lessons. We take dance lessons with Israel Andalon. If you remember, we've had him on the show. And salsa is a dance down here, and Israel does classes for beginners and intermediates, and all the way up to all the way up. He's the dance instructor extraordinaire, and he does a lot of his classes. He does the beginning classes over at the Bodeguita del Medio. That is the Cuban restaurant on the Malecon, downtown Puerto Vallarta. You need to follow Israel's page to keep track of the days and the hours. Actually, I'll put a link to his Facebook pages in the show notes. So if you're interested, they'll be right there. Once again, I'll link his podcast episode that we did with him, so that you can check out again some more links for him. And yeah, so we take a lesson once a week with him, and it's almost always with a couple other couples. There's people in town. There's still people in town, and he works on tips. He depends on tips from students. He doesn't charge a set fee, so we tip him pretty good. But the classes are an hour long, and it's a fast-paced lesson. And he doesn't fool around. He actually sends you a little YouTube video, so you can practice at home, which is really cool. And like I said, I've had him on the show, and I'll put a link to the podcast in the show notes. Also, he does nature hikes. He goes to the waterfalls and stuff like that. And this time of year, guess what's going on? Yep, water flow, waterfalls are flowing. That's what's going on. So, Debbie and I need to practice when we get a chance, and we do, and we don't want to disappoint our teacher, right? So whenever we hear salsa, a little salsa beat, wherever we are at a bar or whatnot, we move our feet a little bit just so that we, get it going. And the coolest place to dance, actually, is in the Plaza de Armas on Sunday evenings. There is a well-established group of people. They set up right in front of City Hall. They got speakers. They got a little DJ thing going on. They got a little table there, and they're pretty cool. And they sit there and they play there. They do the DJ thing. And they got dance music for the masses. It's great. And the dancing goes on from about 6 in the afternoon till about 10 at night. And they got a good group there. They get 150, maybe 200 people in there. It can get, yeah. They do line dances, they do salsa, they do merengue, they do the twist, they do rock and roll. It's just a fun time. Bring water, bring something to drink, because it's hot. It's really hot. You might not be, dancing from 6 till 10, okay? You know what I mean? We try to get there a little later because it cools off, tends to cool off when the sun's down. It's free to dance, but you're encouraged to leave a tip, leave a little propina. They got a little box that's set up on their little DJ area there, and it's a lot of fun. You can watch everybody dance, the young, the old, like me. And it's family day on the Malecon. It's Sunday, so it's family day, and it's just sweet. It's really, really cool. You sit, you can watch the Yamagata just unfold all around you. It's amazing. And just be careful not to sit on one of the benches under a tree. And it's easy to do because lots of those benches are under trees in the Plaza de Armas, because the birds are waiting. They're waiting for you. They're waiting for a chance to take a dump on you. It happened to me, by the way. So you're forewarned. Okay? All right. Anyway, that's one way that we can keep busy, and that we do keep busy and active, and it's fun. And I'll give you a better rundown of maybe what a week looks like in Puerto Vallarta for us, maybe next week, okay? But right now, let's get to our interview, shall we? I'm getting hungry. I get a lot of my interview ideas from you, my listeners, and this next interview was inspired by several of you who encouraged me to visit the Romantic Wok, located in the romantic zone of Puerto Vallarta. Let's see, Chris and Gilbert from Denver, Colorado, Matt and Jody from Ontario, Canada. They all said that we needed to go and try the food and do an interview with James Sabatini over at the Romantic Wok. And since I trust you guys, and I trust your opinion, and because, hey, look, I'm a pushover for Asian food. I really am. And James calls his menu Thai Chinese street food. Add to that, the Romantic Wok happens to be right down the street from where we live. It was a no-brainer, so we needed to give this place a try. So early one evening, on our way to Pinocchio Bar, it's over on Lázaro Cárdenas, one of the friendliest bars in Puerto Vallarta, we decided to pick up some food to go from the Romantic Wok. You see, here's the story. Pinocchio's, they don't serve food, but they do allow, actually, they encourage you to bring in food from outside, so long as you're drinking whatever they're pouring, if you know what I mean. And in fact, Pinocchio's has several menus on the bar, different restaurants that they do to-go orders, and including the Romantic Wok. So we stopped there, we ordered 2 dishes, an appetizer to go, and then we walked over to Pinocchio's, and that's when we fell in love with the Romantic Wok. It was love at first bite. It really was. Now, the restaurant itself, the Romantic Wok, is very clean. It's cozy. It has several tables set up inside. The walls have murals. There's lots of hearts. Very romantic. It's very inviting. It's a beautiful space, and I have pictures of it in the show notes. Check them out. Now, in front of the Romantic Wok is where the magic actually happens. It's a food cart. It's set up with these 2 big, huge woks. And it's a bit of a shock to see, being as, we're in Mexico, where most of the food carts have the flat stainless steel grills on them, right? So here we have these 2 big woks set up right in front of this place. And from your table, you can actually watch them prepare your meal for you in these 2 woks. So you get entertainment while you wait for your dish to arrive at your table. It's actually more exciting than tableside guacamole, I would say. And it really is. It's like an episode of the Food Channel, really. This is a cooking show. Comes with real live flames and fire, and you actually get to see everything that goes into your dish as they cook it. It's really pretty cool. So I left my card with Ellie. Ellie was the lady who made our delicious meal. I asked her to give it to James, the owner, and because I wanted him on the show, and she did. And James got back to me, and we made arrangements to meet at the restaurant. James has a business partner, and his name is Eddie Aguilar. And I had met Eddie many years ago, actually, back at a restaurant called Huarique. Remember Huarique? Yeah, that place. Well, Eddie was the chef at Huarique. That's the kind of talent that we're talking about that you're going to find at the Romantic Wok. So Eddie partnered up with James, and they built up a talented staff with James, Eddie, and Ellie, and Leo currently. And so let's go. Let's go to Jacarandes 322 in Zona Romantica, and let's find out what the heck is going on in the streets of Puerto Vallarta. James Sabatini and Eddie Aguilar and me at the Romantic Wok in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. All right. James and Eddie, thanks for coming on the show today.
Hey, Barry. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
James, tell us a little bit yourself. Where are you from? What was your path that led you here to Puerto Vallarta?
So I'm originally from a very, very small town in Illinois, very rural Illinois, 2 hours away from Chicago.
Okay.
And had about 18 years living in New York City. Wanted to live somewhere where it was warm all year round. And so that leaves basically Miami, maybe South Texas and Southern California, which are not really great A plans or B plans for me. So I went looking in Central America, Nicaragua, Panama. A friend of mine told me about Mexico, thinks I would really like this area, and he was right. Because of the ocean, the mountains, I want that mix, and the small town feel, but city infrastructure. So it was like a win-win for me, Puerto Vallarta, for all of those reasons.
And when did that start? When was that?
Basically 2016.
Okay.
Yeah, 2015, I think in the winter. I was 6 months in and out of Nicaragua, Panama, a little bit of Costa Rica, but I knew that was going to be too expensive because I'm not retiring. I wanted to go someplace where I could do my own business and enjoy living while I was still healthy and young enough,
Right.
And
How long did you spend in Nicaragua?
Probably in total 3 months.
Okay.
Going in and out. I know it quite well. I was pretty serious about Nicaragua.
Really? Like opening a business and
Yeah, opening business was always the plan. Yeah.
Is there a lot of foreign people going in there?
Yeah. I mean, this was 2015, 2016. There's been some issues there politically since. I haven't really kept up on it, but I know there was some issues. But it was really stable prior to that for several decades. So I wasn't worried about it at the time.
Very interesting that it was on your list, but you made it here.
Yeah, made it here.
All right. So you got here in 2016, yes? Is that or 15? What did I hear?
2016. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I was here for Semana Santa, and then came back the following October because I worked in the restaurant business in New York City. I was at a seasonal place. It was open in the summers on the river, on the Hudson River. Very high volume, casual, but beautiful, beautiful sunset. So I was always by the water, always outside, 100% outside. So this was a way to keep away from winter and then go back there in the summer and work there and then come back here and see if it was really just a travel fantasy or if I really, really loved it. And I really did love it. Yeah.
Right. So you just started thinking about it like this is going to be it.
This is going to be it.
So how long did it take you to make that move?
I think it was basically one winter season. I was like, yeah, I'm coming back. And I had already moved out of my apartment because I was already serious about living in another country. City for sure, country probably. And then I came the following winter, 2017, started looking around, asking some people that I met about, what's happening here in restaurants. And that's how I met Eddie, actually. Eddie used to work at a restaurant called Warike, which I know you interviewed.
I did,
because he remembers you.
All right. I remember you.
Yeah. And so Chris and Fabian were friends of mine. And actually, they told me about a couple of restaurant bars that were up for sale, and a couple other friends of mine that own Derby Burgers. And they were just really helpful, networking, good guys. And they told me about a restaurant that was available. So I had purchased from a previous owner, All Access Sports Bar.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah. And so I had that for 5 years before this.
Wow. All right. And so what caused you to go from All Access up to Jacarandes?
Yeah. Jacarandes it's actually where I live. So I live on this street. And I've always loved this 4 or 5 block area because ever since I moved here in 2016, I stayed over here. Not in Jacarandes exactly, but literally within a block and a half.
Yeah.
So I knew the area from living here, but it wasn't a place that I thought a restaurant would be ideal for because, tourism, you want people to be walking by all the time.
Yeah.
And so when we first got this little spot, I knew I wanted a cart outside. That's what our restaurant is. It's a seating area, cart outside. I thought that was a fantastic idea from, the Mexicans that are doing it around the corner and everywhere else.
Yeah.
And I wanted something like that. And we found this spot. We didn't know the street. We didn't know the landlord. She didn't know us. So we had a 6-month lease here for the first time to see how it would go.
Okay. All right.
By her choice. We were a little worried, but why not invest? And yeah, so it started small. I wouldn't say small, but we took our steps for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you opened when here?
So we opened in December 15th or 16th of 2023, right?
23. Yes.
23.
23.
Yeah.
All right. So you've been here now for, this is the beginning of your, middle of your second year, right?
Yeah.
And so how did everything start? I mean, how you're kind of in a hidden place. Your food is delicious. It's crazy. How do you get people to come by? How do you do that?
Well, before I answer that, we appreciate that you like the food, and that's this guy. That's my business partner, Eddie. So we have a good partnership. So how did we? What were you asking? How do we get there?
How did you? I mean, how do you get people to come to this place? It's a little bit hidden, right? I mean, it's out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you've got to have some reputation, right? Which,
yeah. I think the hidden secret of Puerto Vallarta, and I think you know this already, Barry, is people talk about what they like. They talk about what they don't like also.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But there's a lot of people hanging out, and they really like to socialize and recommend places they think are cool. And that's our biggest help. We got some great advertising on the Facebook groups, like the everything you always want to know about PV. People asking for other places, and the demographic, the visitors here is very unique. Like there's people that come down for 3 days and they're here to get drunk. There's people that come down for a week because they're going on a wedding. There's people that are here for 6 months. There's people that are expats, as you know, like myself now and you, I assume. So there's a different demographic, and to get the tourists to come over here, that's definitely harder.
Right.
But they read the pages, Yelp and all those help us a lot. Google helps us a lot.
Right.
To get the expat, you got to be the part of the conversation. And I see people walking. Eddie sees people on the bus. We see people going here and there, and we give them a flyer, and we
Sure.
say, "Are you only interested in tacos? How long are you here in Puerto Vallarta? You look like someone that likes challenging, interesting food,
Yeah.
No, seriously, we have to do a lot of legwork.
I believe it.
Because, this street, actually, Jacarandes has a lot of traffic, but it's off the beaten path in terms of like regular tourists.
Exactly.
So,
It's not like your tourist beat.
exactly.
Tell us about your menu, because it's not huge, but it's tasty. I mean, you got some great things going on. So almost everything that you make comes out of that wok, right?
Everything comes out of the wok by design. Eddie and I always wanted to have a variety of dishes, but we wanted the menu to stay small. But it's important to make it like flexible. Someone doesn't want rice for some reason, you can switch out anything on our menu. If it came with noodles, you want rice, no problem, no charge. We do vegan, vegetarian, because if you want to substitute noodles and you want to put a veggie base, we do that. Lots of different sauces. And yeah, everything's on the wok, including now we do dumplings, i.e. pot stickers. Those are on the wok. We do tom yum soup. We call it tom wok yum soup. So it has the word yum in it, and it's made in the wok. So we make a base in the wok ahead of time. And then at the moment when someone orders it, we heat up the base, we add the shrimp, we add all the vegetables that go to it. So the idea is that it comes from a wok, and we want to keep it that way, keep it focused on what's in the wok and what we can do with the wok.
Yeah. Oh, well, you guys do magic with the wok. And it's kind of cool, actually, that it's outside of the restaurant, so it's not so warm on the inside, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty important.
Well, Barry, I'm a very practical person, and I've worked in restaurants off and on in my life. And if you can have the kitchen outside, then there's less grease and everything in the inside.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who thinks of that?
The Mexicans did.
Yeah.
The Mexicans did. I see them doing it around the corner. There's a great taco place in front of Pinocho's, the new Pinocho's.
Yeah.
And that one's been there forever, and it was on a different street years before that. And I was like, that's a great idea. Taco stand in the street, draw attention to your food, and then seating's inside. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's
absolutely
what I wanted.
Yeah, it was very comfortable, very pretty inside here, by the way. I'll have pictures. You'll find it on the website over at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com. Or I'm sure that you got a couple pictures of the inside of your place on your Facebook page, right?
Yeah, we use Facebook, Instagram. We're on Google Maps, which helps us a lot.
Yeah, I bet.
So Eddie's friend, an artist, did all the flames, did the giant heart with the wings on it. We wanted to make it feel unique and not fancy, not unapproachable. Come here dressed in your wedding gown, no problem. Come here dressed in no t-shirt, I welcome it,
Yeah. There you go. All right. So give us some of your dishes. Go through some of your menu, would you?
Eddie, I think that's you.
Yeah.
¿Quiere saber un poquito de los platos?
De los platos.
In English.
Okay. The place I'm making is in-house. I like the Thai food. I'm partner. I don't know.
Right.
What's your favorite one? ¿Cuál es tu favorito en la list?
The amor de carne.
So yeah,
I
amor de
like that one
carne
too.
is what? What's in amor de carne?
Amor de carne is noodles, arrochera steak, mushroom, peppers, and the sauce is bacon,
Yeah.
with sauce the teriyaki sauce, and a little spicy the sauce Vietnamese.
Yeah, that's a spicy dish.
It's spicy, and it's one of our saucier ones. Saucy in terms of spicy, but also like the amount of sauce.
Uh-huh.
We try to make all of the names of the dishes a little funny, you know?
Right.
Pollo romantico, basically is just roasted chicken with a rice base, broccoli, and that's a teriyaki sauce. But we wanted a funny name. That's one of our second most popular dishes. The most popular is the pad thai.
Pad Thai, which is excellent.
And you can do that with chicken. You could do that simple. You could do that with shrimp. You can put beef if you want. We don't care. We have tofu here. And we try to do good in terms of where we get our tofu. We want it to be an extra firm quality tofu, so we get that through an online source, get delivered to us.
Uh-huh.
Our bean sprouts come from around the corner from our fruit and veggie place called Fruteria Rosie, which I've been working with since I had the restaurant before this for 8 years now.
Right.
They deliver to us, so all of our fruits and vegetables come from there. Our meat as well comes locally around the corner. And let's see, pad thais are most popular. We've had people that have visited us, fortunately, saying they've lived in Taiwan and had street food, because this is street food. This is not fancy Thai food. And they said, we lived there 14 years. Your pad thai is really authentic and the way we remember it tasting. And that's a huge compliment to Eddie and to us to be able to duplicate it here in Mexico, which, there's a lot of opportunities and variety in Mexico, but it's not easy to pull off a different dish than what's typically here. You have to get a right supplier.
Right.
And it's becoming easier because there's more and more diversity here. But initially there was, hard time getting the right noodle to come in town and the tofu and other things like that. So really quickly, the pad thai, then the pollo romantico, then probably the amor de carnes, the next biggest popular dish. We have a vegan dish, which we call Te Amo Vegano, which is just basically I love you vegan. And that's, what's the base in that one? That's pasta also, right? That's noodle. And it's got tofu in there. You can tell them if you want the egg or no egg. All of our dishes come with an egg, but it's optional.
Okay.
And all of our dishes come with coleslaw, but that's optional. You can take it out if you want. And after that, let's see. Let's be the amantes de Thai. That's like another version of pad thai, but a twist on it, and it's got steak. And pollo romantico, amor de carne, te amo vegano.
Amantes de Thai,
What
Caminar
else?
del Mar.
Oh, Caminar del Mar. Yeah. So basically, it's a walk from the beach. So it's a little joke, like the shrimp coming out of the ocean.
Right.
And that's a shrimp dish with also noodle base. So there's a variety in that main menu. Like I think there's 6 on the main menu, and then the opposite side you can build your own. You can build whatever veggie combinations you like, and we get people that go crazy. They add a lot of we have black sesame here, peanuts, like I said, bean sprouts. What else is unusual?
The Caminar del Mar is different noodles. It's
It's udon.
Udon.
Yeah,
It's,
that's right.
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a thicker noodle. That's a non-egg based noodle. And we get that from our main supplier. That most of their food comes directly from Thailand. So it's quite authentic, and it helps us a lot to make sure that it stays the way we want it to be. Yeah,
amazing. Okay, well, you also, I'm thinking it's very comfortable inside here, but you probably get a lot of to-go business here too.
Yeah, that was the idea. We wanted to be able to serve the food fast. So there's a lot of great restaurants in Mexico and in Puerto Vallarta, but a lot of them are sit down and it takes at least 20 minutes to get a drink and then maybe another 20 minutes to get an appetizer. And we want to be able to get your food fast. So usually within 5 minutes, you can have your dish. And that makes it easy to take out really quick. And we probably do 40% of our business is 100% takeout. We're on Uber Eats. It's helpful in terms of promoting, getting our name out there. We do deliver ourselves. We have a bicycle out here, and that's how we deliver. So anywhere in the romantic zone, we deliver, no charge. either on foot or on the bike. But if we have to go up the hill to Mapas or across the bridge, then we charge.
Yeah. Different story.
Not a lot, just enough to like make sure the delivery drivers wants to go,
Yeah.
basically. And it goes directly to the delivery driver. So,
Yeah, make it worth their while to go straight up that hill.
yeah.
Because it is straight up the hill from here, kids.
Yeah, you know, Puerto Vallarta, it's quite hilly.
Yeah. What about drinks? What do you serve as far as beverages here?
So our top favorite is the jasmine iced tea. We make that here. We make it in-house. We, steep the jasmine tea, add fresh squeezed lime. It's not an overly sweet tea. And same with our agua de Jamaica. That's hibiscus water. You can find that common in a lot of restaurants here in Mexico, but ours isn't overly sweet. I like to keep it pretty balanced. And if you mix the two together, they come as a liter. It's a lot of liquid, but if you mix the two together, they're really, really tasty.
Bet.
And jasmine tea has a good hit of caffeine.
Is this what I'm drinking here is jasmine tea?
I think that's what you're drinking, yeah.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
Those are our biggest sellers. And one of our Uber Eats drivers comes by all the time just for the jasmine tea because it's got a good punch. I like it.
It's a good treat.
And now we have a Thai tea. And that's
Calpico.
and calpico, yeah. So we have a Japanese, that's a yogurt-based drink
Oh, really?
called
Okay.
calpico, Calpico. And a Thai tea, which we serve, it's a black tea with a little bit of simple syrup and milk. Very tasty as well. Iced. All these things are iced. We don't serve anything hot. And then we have like the Coca-Cola line. People really are desperate for something that's not interesting.
Yeah.
We haven't had anybody ever not like the jasmine tea, which is a nice compliment. Because a lot of people don't know it. I didn't know it.
I certainly didn't know.
I tried to make it unsweetened because I drink unsweetened black tea. And I didn't like it at first. But now I'm used to it. I drink it unsweetened. But ours is sweetened. So.
Yeah, it is sweet. It's it's delicious.
What do you think? Do you think it's overly sweet or do you think it's perfect?
No, I think it's just right.
Okay, good. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
tell me the truth. It's okay.
I always tell the truth.
Okay, good.
I do.
It's gringo.
Yeah, right.
Gringos always tell the truth.
Mexican? Oh, more
it's
sugar.
perfect.
Oh,
It's just-
yeah, they like
no.
it
For
sugar.
Mexican, it's
Yeah.
no sweet.
No, yeah, I hear you. I know how it goes over there.
And if they do want more sugar, we can add more sugar. We have simple syrup ready to
Right.
go, so we
it
can add to it.
You
But
can do the thing. Do the mixology,
it's easy.
magic.
That's easy.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. All right, hey, let's leave the romantic walk for just a minute here. Let's go out into town and let's talk about what you like to do when you're not working. Okay, so let's say you had a day off and you were going to go leave town and come back same day. Where would you go? What would you do?
That's a good question. It's one of the reasons why I moved here. There's a lot of little towns to go to around here. So you said I have one day, 12 hours.
Yeah.
I go someplace like Maito, which is south of us, and it's what would you call it, west of Tuito.
Mhm.
And there's another couple towns there that I won't sound out very well. Tahuajitle or something.
Tehuamixle.
Yeah, that one. You know it.
Oh, yeah.
And right before that, there's a little town where I got my first dog rescue. So I'm very fond of that area over there.
Yeah.
So I rescued her directly up the street when we were on a road trip. And I have some really good friends that are from Mascota and a little town near there called Yerba Buena. So I might go there. San Sebastian Este, everyone knows about that place now. But that was someplace I like because they have a really cool overlook. That's the ATV tour going by. So if there's a beach or some sort of mountain, mountain hill that we can climb up, do a little hike on, over by Punta Mita, before you get to Sayulita, there's El Mono, I think is what it's called. Cerro de Mono. Eddie and a bunch of us went on that hike
The Monkey
Well-
Mountain, right?
2 months ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's very
Was
nice.
it?
Beautiful west
But-
view, sunset.
Tough hike.
I would say easy, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really hard, I would never do it. It's probably a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe an hour and a half to get up, a little steep towards the end, but nothing difficult. In fact, I went. I had a friend visiting with her daughter who was 3.5, and I took her.
Right.
And then
Oh,
she
wow.
read online, "Don't take kids."
Oh, really?
And so
Now,
I had
why
to,
is that? Now, why did they say that?
it was a little
A
difficult.
little sketchy?
Yeah, a little difficult in some area, but I knew I could carry her, and I would be fine. We would be safe,
Okay.
and that's what we did. Like, she got tired because it was long,
Yeah.
and
So,
so I had
what's the payoff when you get to the top? What's
the view.
Okay.
The view of the ocean, of the sunset at that time of day, because we went around 5 o'clock so we can see the sunset. So Cerro Mono, Mascota, Yerba Buena, Maito. South of there, Punta Perla. I haven't been yet, but I want to go.
Uh-huh.
And I want to stay the night. So that's like a little bit longer trip I would like to go on. There's tons of places like that. So I've got some other friends that are from other parts of Mexico, and they're the same as I. They really like to explore and go on like a weekend trip. We stayed in like I think it's a former gold mine outside of San Sebastián de Oeste. There's a friend of mine was managing this property there, and so we just cooked out on the campfire.
Oh,
and,
man, that must have been great.
yeah, it's that's one of the reasons why you love this part of Mexico versus a big city, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But we'll just go up the river, up the Rio Calle. We went the other day to a day pass pool place just right before you would get to Vallarta Adventures and just hang out. There's a cool restaurant over there called La Mora. Is that what it's called? La Mora? Anyway, it's a restaurant on the river, literally.
Uh-huh.
And
Moro Pariso?
Mora Pariso. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Very good nachos, which is one of my favorite things to have when I go out to eat. And if they're done well. And
They make a good margarita there at Moro Pariso. It's one.
I don't remember that.
I'll tell you that. It's-
No, I remember. I was just joking.
Okay,
I like a good margarita.
Never mind. He found it. James already knows why to go to the Moro Pariso.
It's really good there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. These are wonderful. What about 3-day trips? You could probably take half of these and turn them into 3-day trips, right?
Yeah, because staying the night is nice. You know, once you go 3 or 4 hours on a road trip, it's nice to hang out.
Yeah.
And then what's the rush? I mean, if you have a business partner and he's running the business, then I can go away for 3 days.
Go, Eddie.
Is that how that works, Eddie?
Yes.
That's a little bit how that works.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Well,
Further away, I don't know.
Eddie's the man to have in your kitchen when you need him, right? I mean, he's the guy.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, our staff is really good. We've been with LE now for a year, Leo for a half a year.
Yeah.
And but I'm relaxed
You got a great staff.
knowing that I have this guy next to me. So yeah.
Where do you like to go, Eddie? Where if you had a day off, you're going to go somewhere for the day. Where would you go?
si tienes un día de descanso, ¿qué vas a hacer? ¿Dónde vayas para visitar?
For me, no day off.
You don't get a day off.
The all weeks is working.
Nunca.
No.
Okay, bueno. All right. Está bien. Está bien
I'll
conmigo.
answer for him.
All right.
If he's off, he likes to relax.
Yeah.
And be on his phone. No, I'm kidding. He has a daughter that, lives in Ciudad de Mexico. So he would go there to visit her.
Yeah.
And, or she comes here. She's really cool.
Uh-huh.
Isabella. Yeah.
Isabella. All right.
We seriously want her to open a restaurant, a Romantic Wok in Mexico City.
In DF.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
All
En
right.
Coyoacán.
Oh, Culiacan.
Yes.
All right. Why not? ¿Por qué no? Well, have you been to Mexico City?
I have.
Have you?
I went there a couple times. I had some friends from New York that moved there, and I went there for one time for Gay Pride. And I really like Mexico City. It's beautiful. I like all the park atmosphere of the streets. But I lived in New York City, so I've been there, done that in terms of like a large city, and I loved when I lived in New York. But I wanted a small, slower beach pace, which is what's
here.
Yeah.
Which is
So
right
New York, Mexico City to visit, awesome, especially for inspiration. Like try different foods, see different art. Guadalajara, I love Guadalajara. Morelia, I visited when I first came here. San Miguel de Allende. My favorite is Guanajuato. I love Guanajuato. It's so
Really?
so beautiful. I still want to see San Luis Potosí. It's supposed to be some amazing I really like nature. I really like to see stuff like that. Oaxaca, I haven't been yet, but that's on the list. There's a ton of places.
Yeah, there are.
Ton of places.
Oh, a lot of those are on my list too.
Nothing? You haven't been to Oaxaca yet? I'm surprised.
No, I have not.
Yeah. It's been recommended by a million people to me.
Right. Well, to me too.
Yeah.
If you were gonna, if you met some guy who was gonna come to Puerto Vallarta for the first time, what shouldn't they miss? What do they need to do when they come here to Puerto Vallarta?
I usually try to ask people what they're interested in, because if they're interested in just hanging out and keeping it simple, like some people do, you definitely have to walk them out of the cone at very least. But most people I meet, they're interested in seeing a little bit more of the local area. So I say get down to Boca, take a hike along the path there, all the way to Colomitos, all the way to Animas. We do that all the time. We've done all the way to Camixto. Eddie used to work out at a hotel in Camixto. So that's, to me, if you want to get out and about, even if you don't want to walk, you just want to take a boat, get down to Boca, go to Camixto, Colomitos, all the beach, get on a boat, see this place from a boat. It's beautiful. If you want to stay really local, my favorite on the beach place is Barracuda.
Oh, yeah.
I love Barracuda. Easy, casual, quality food. Again, on the beach, so I love the sunset. What else would I really like? Oh, I always tell people go up to the Mirador. It's a lot of stairs.
Yeah,
a lot of stairs, but it's worth the view. Go at sunset again, but you want to get out there before it gets hot. It's beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes,
the Mirador?
absolutely.
Beautiful. I'm more into views and beaches than just anywhere, but I recommend those places to people. Food-wise, I definitely recommend the food trucks. Well, they're not called food trucks here, but taco stands. My favorite is around the corner, Marisma.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. They've been going there for a long time.
Los Chulos.
Oh, around the corner from us, Doña Chela. Do you know Doña Chela?
I don't know Doña Chela.
Literally around the corner from us, local place, really, really good sopes.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
They deliver as well. They're really good guy that owns it. Nice staff. Inexpensive, real food. Real Mexican
it's a senadoria, right?
What's that?
It's a senadoria, right?
Yeah, but they open at 3. So
Okay.
you can start getting their food from 3:00. Yeah, those are some of my go-to places that I eat probably at least a couple times a week out of. And sometimes I'm so lazy they still deliver, and I only live a half a block away. I won't say I'm lazy. I was tired. Let's say
tired. Say you're tired.
Yeah, I was tired.
Yeah. How about what would be something that you would say, don't do this? Don't do this when you're in Puerto Vallarta. Because there's all kinds of things that they just walking down the street, people are telling you to do. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. Things not to do in Mexico. I don't think you should go around saying everything's so cheap. I think it's a little disrespectful to the culture. We know why we're here. Some people are here because they like the escape and culture and the food. Some people like the prices. Just try to keep it respectful, I think. And when you get drunk, which, happens sometimes, it's still a city. You got to keep your wits about yourself. Can easily, make it home. No problem here without any concerns. But you should keep your wits about yourself. At 4:00 in the morning, if you've closed the bar, which, I know a few people that did that at my bar restaurant. Just, make sure you can still walk and get to where you live, or that you've done really well with knowing the bar staff and they take care of you, because they will take care of you.
Yeah.
So I would say don't be rude so that people want to help you, because people are beautiful here and they're genuine. And don't say it's cheap.
No, that's right.
And don't be cheap.
Don't be cheap.
Don't be cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tip well.
Yeah.
Right.
If they give you above average service, give them a way above average tip, I think.
I agree.
Bad service sometimes sucks, but people that work on tips.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do. All right, let's come back to Romantic Wok. Tell us your address. Where are you at?
So we're 322 Jacarandes, and that is between Basilio Badillo and Venustiano Carranza. I can say that. Venustiano.
Venustiano.
We're in the middle of the block, so there's a really popular taco stand across from us, diagonal from us. What else is near us that people know? People know the market. We're not that far from the market.
Right.
People know the tunnel that you go in and out of. We're basically a block and a half from where the tunnel enters and leaves. So those are the biggest ways to find us.
Okay.
Middle of the block, look for the cart, the taco cart that's not a taco cart that has 2 woks on it, and you'll find us in the middle.
Very good. Yeah, well, I'll have pictures of that in the show notes. I'll also have links to their Facebook, their Instagram, and what else am I going to have a link to? Oh, I'll have a map that'll take you right to the front door of the Romantic Wok.
Yeah.
So that way you'll be able to find it without any trouble at all. Am I missing anything? Do you want anything else that I need to cover before we say goodbye today, James?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we hope that when people come down here, they want to try a lot of things that Vallarta has to offer. Because there's a lot more than tacos, which are awesome. But there's a lot of new things in the last, I would say, year and a half, and we're one of them. So come and check us out.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're on one of my regular lists right now. It's I gotta say the food here is amazing.
How did you find us?
Well, I have listeners that tell me I got to come talk to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right. And so then I said, well, I better go test the food first.
That's awesome.
So I do that first, just to make sure that I like.
What did you order the first time?
Well, I ordered the meat lovers.
Oh, really? Amor de carne.
And then the pad thai. And then I also got some dumplings.
Okay.
And they were all delicious. Everything was just perfect.
That's great. Were you here with your wife or by yourself?
I was. No, I was here with my wife.
What does she think?
She loved it. She's ready. She's ready to get, so go again. She's ready for another round.
I appreciate that.
The next visit, Nutty. Nutty.
The nutty noodle. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the yams.
Really? I'm going to go for it. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to do like a peanut sauce based one, and so he and I experimented. This one's a little unusual because it has jicama in it. We wanted something crunchy, which I like a lot. It has pineapple,
fresh,
but if you want like a nut flavored sauce, it's called the nutty noodle. It's really good.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm in.
That's good.
I'm in. All right, we'll give it a try. You all come down here and you try the nutty noodle too, and all the other really good dishes here at the Romantic Wok. I gotta say, James and Eddie, thank you so much for inviting me in so I could talk with you and to introduce you. And the
we really
Romantic
appreciate
Wok
it. Thank you.
To my listeners. I really, really appreciate you guys.
Thank you
very, very much. All right. Thank you, James. Thank you, Eddie. Thanks for sharing your story and your love for Puerto Vallarta. And wow, what great food. The food is delicious. Fresh, reasonably priced. Eat in or take out, have it delivered if you like. You will be glad that you did. I have links to their Facebook and their Instagram and a map that will take you to their front door. I have lots of great pictures of the inside of the Romantic Wok, lots of food porn, and of course, flaming woks all over the place. I've got links right there in the show notes. Find it at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com. Okay. Wow. That should do it for this week. Next week, stay tuned for more on-the-ground reports from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, with travel tips, great restaurant and excursion ideas, and more. Until then, remember that this is an interactive show where I depend on your questions and suggestions about all things Puerto Vallarta. If you think of something that I should be talking about, well, hey, reach out to me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending us your message. And remember, if you're considering booking any type of tour while you're in Puerto Vallarta, you must go to vallartainfo.com. That's my friend JR's website. Reserve your tour through him right from his website. Remember the value for value here? Got his experience and on-the-ground knowledge of everything Puerto Vallarta in exchange for your making a purchase of a tour that you do anyway. You're just doing it through him as a way of saying, thank you. Thanks, JR, for being our guide. Cost no more than if you're going to use someone else. So do it, really. And when you do take one of these tours, email me about your experience. Maybe you can come on board and share with others what you liked or didn't like about the tour. Again, contact me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending off a message. And don't forget his map, his his maps, his DIY tours. I have links to all of those in the show notes. Hey, once again, if you like this podcast, please take the time to subscribe and follow or share with a lover of Puerto Vallarta. Give me a good review wherever or however you happen to be listening. That way we can get the word out to more and more people about the magic of this place, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Remember, I made it easy for you to do just that with each episode I create. But if you haven't been to my website, you really need to have a look over there. I have links to the places that we talk about, interesting pictures, and more right there in my blog posts and the show notes for each episode of the show. So check them out for sure if you haven't already. All right? All right. Thanks so much to James Sabatini and Eddie Aguilar from Romantic Wok in Zona Romantica. Love your food. Love your unique twist. And those two big woks turning out some of the most delicious Asian food in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Check it out. Check this gem out for sure the next time you get a chance. And once again, I have all the information at www.puertovallartatravelshow.com. And thanks to all of you for listening all the way through this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. This is Barry Kessler signing off with a wish for you all to slow down, be kind, and live Vallarta lifestyle. Nos vemos, amigos.
De Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de amor junto al mar. Solo camino eterno por la playa, me encuentro junto al río cuando todo está en calma. Pronto cae la noche, brillas Puerto Vallarta, samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de amor junto al mar. Oh, samba de Puerto Vallarta.